first video is going to be on checks and balances. So if you are unsure what checks and balances are, and yes, I know I say the word balance is funny, but if you're unsure what that is, then this is the video for you. Here we go. Our founding fathers put a system in place that is really word for word in the Constitution that makes it so that the powers of government are separated into three branches. One branch, and the first branch that is talked about in the Constitution, is the legislative branch. The legislative branch is made up of the Senate, and the people in the Senate are senators, and the House of Representatives, and that is made up of your congressmen and women. There are two houses in the legislative branch, so it is a bicameral legislative branch, or bicameral legislature. In each article of the Constitution, it lists specific powers that each branch has. So Article 1 talks about the powers that the legislative branch has. The other branch in our government is the executive branch. And the executive branch is the president and his cabinet and all the people that work within his cabinet. Then you also have the judicial branch. And the judicial branch is made up of the Supreme Court and all of the lower federal courts. All of those branches work together to get things done, but they can also check the power of each other. And that is what checks and balances really is all about. Each one of those checking the power of the other. U.S. versus Alvarez. In 2005, Congress passes the Stolen Valor Act because apparently there were people around the country that were, and still to this day, pretend that they were in the military to get benefits that really should go to actual service members. They make up a military record and make up forged documents that make it look like they were in the military. So they passed this law that says that you, if you do that, then it's a misdemeanor and you are punished by law. Well, the Supreme Court looked at it in U.S. versus Alvarez, and they said, you know what? That's not constitutional. Somebody can say they were in the military and you can't arrest them because the Constitution gives you the right of free speech, no matter if you like that free speech or not. So Congress saw their law that they made become unconstitutional, and it was not enforced. So then shortly after that, the president and the Pentagon work together, the executive branch. They come up with a national database so that people can look up whether a person saying they were in the military were actually in the military. That is constitutional. There's no crime against that. And then now Congress is also looking at narrowing their original Stolen Valor Act law so that it passes the muster of the Supreme Court, and they will say it is constitutional. So you have the three branches: the legislative branch making the law, the judicial branch, the Supreme Court saying whether it's constitutional or not, and then the executive branch taking power on their own accord, coming up with this database through the Pentagon and the military. So all three of those branches are exercising their power. They have separate powers, and they can check the power of the others in some cases. You can look through Articles 1, 2, and 3 and see for yourself all the different powers that all three branches have and how they check each other's powers. It's right there for you to find in the Constitution. But there's a lot of different checks and balances, and they are very important in our Constitution to make sure we don't have some crazy dictator like they do in North Korea. So there you go. Have a good day. That's checks and balances, folks. Hope you understand better. Bye.